Hello, everyone. This is Melissa G. Wilson coming to you from Networlding and Networlding Publishing, books and more that make the world better. I am the publisher of this imprint that has actually been around for 16 years. And it is my pleasure to say I have helped 175 thought leaders stay steady with their direction, connection, and the opportunities that come from not only having the ability to think great thoughts that can help not just individuals who have those thoughts, but to the world. That's why it is Net World Inc. And my goal as the publisher is to be just like one of the readers, inquisitive, excited, interested in what our thought leaders have to say. So, in that way, I feel that the path that networlding I've taken with it is to get the authors networlding together, to get me helping the authors really get their wisdom out into the world. So I have the honor and pleasure of welcoming Dan Kaplan. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
And oh yes, yes, you're great. And I'm excited about sharing your book. And what I'd like you to do is actually introduce your book, Dan, and then we're going to talk about you and your journey that you've taken and where you are now and connected to the book. But first, introduce. We are on step 2 of, should I call it a step? I think we can. And since we're walking, we're stepping, walking it greatness together,
Inch by inch, we're getting there.
inch by inch. Yes. And that makes it a cinch to get it inch by inch. I can't help it. I do love rhyming. So go ahead and talk about this second step in walking in greatness together.
Well, first of all, it's based on the chapter "Embrace What Is."
Embrace what is. Yes.
But what is what is? This
Yes.
is very, very tricky, and it accumulated in a visionary experience I mentioned a lot in this book that I
Yeah.
had from out of the blue, not planned, totally unexpected, in 1973 on my college courtyard.
Blast from the
And
past. Yes.
yes, a blast from the past is correct. There's so many things in our lives that we experience and we just say, oh, well. But sometimes, if you look back, because I was lucky enough to see, it was so impactful that I took that visionary experience, which
Hmm.
I describe in detail in my book, in Walking Greatness Together, in the guidebook. And I'll be elaborating on this much more
Oh,
as I continue to learn and evolve and grow. And even at 73 years old, I mean, I am so
oh, you
excited
did. And
about
people
what's going on in my
looking
life.
young. You're looking young. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm legally disabled, but I'm on the upswing with my physical dexterity, let's put it that way.
Very
I
nice.
have a wonderful personal trainer who's very, very tough. And I'm
Mm.
getting so much tough love from the world that that's a sign that I'm getting closer and closer to where I want to go.
Oh,
And
yes.
so my first thing is never, ever be discouraged or give up. Keep moving forward because when the going gets tough, that's when the tough get going. And I tell you, we are very, very tough. Billions of years of evolution that's within us, that nature has ordained within not only our physical being but our spiritual as well, and everything else
Mm.
that you may think of.
Mhm.
And the thing is to go with that
Yes.
and sort of, okay, how can I just continue this evolution and growth within me. And that to me defines freedom. That's
Mhm.
the ultimate freedom, to
I
let
like,
go and be who you are and be yourself. That
yeah.
it, I've learned that through decades, and
It
I'm still learning.
is,
The learning never ends.
and you enjoy and you keep learning and growing. And how long have we known each other? For over a decade, I think,
Well,
right?
since 2013.
Okay. 13 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
No,
And I
not
did. And
13, not 13 years,
even
since
yeah, even
2013.
yeah,
Yeah, 13.
yeah, yeah. Even in relationships, it's never a straight arrow. There's always nooks and crannies, but those are the important junctures at times where you self-reflect about
Mhm,
what's really going on here. Or
mhm,
and and that's really been key. So even with these so-called mistakes and failures and blunders, obstacles, um,
yeah,
challenges, whatever you want to call them, they mean something.
mhm,
And and the more I've reflect on those, the the better I I've been in my life, in my happiness, my feelings, in,
mhm,
in in my perspective and attitude toward life, and that's me and everything else,
mhm.
whatever that is.
Yes,
So
so that's the embracing part.
yes.
And what happens when you feel in your gut that you shouldn't be embracing, that instead you should be doing something different or nothing at all?
Well, this is very interesting because, in my experience, time is not linear.
Right.
Um,
Not, yes,
so
yes.
I've
As
experienced
Albert
these things
Einstein would
a
say.
lot differently,
Yes.
and so this may be challenging to follow, but I'm going to be writing about this. I'll be having presentations. I'm even have film connections. I want to make movies. I have a quantum museum project that's really many people are interested throughout the world. This is so key in seeing things through, no matter what is
Mhm,
going on, and you become better and better at this, at
mhm,
at forging ahead and cutting through all the clouds that are actually holding you back. You may not realize it at the time. I
mhm,
think Melissa brought up an excellent point in terms of we experience things, but sometimes it doesn't really hit us until later. We through our through our growth and and our our wisdom and our awareness about,
mhm,
oh yeah, I remember what happened. Oh, so that's what it meant. So
mhm,
you may not capture uh, any meaning or at
mhm,
all
mhm,
when it comes. So it's always good um, to reflect.
mhm.
And sometimes you forget things, and all of a sudden it hits you. And so, oh yeah, I remember that now. God, is that
Yeah, you
unusual?
start to see the connections. Well,
Yes.
as writers, there I definitely see, with the 175 authors and the 25 plus books I've done, I see we are creatures of repetition, and it's almost, or is, like getting notified again and again, hey, there's a theme going here. Maybe I should look a little bit more deeply at it. But let me ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
Can you, in 5 minutes or less, tell us about your quantum experience? And I know that you need a lot more time, but the good news is we're going through each step of the guidebook to help those who are wanting to do something different and they don't know what that is. And they count on, we're looking for people who count on their intuition to get closer to their gut, if you will, their gut, instinct, what's going on. And it is definitely something that when you take another look, a deeper look, or even you can ask someone who knows you, what might be different that went on this last week or the week before? Are you seeing any things that are changing? I'm always looking for patterns. So tell us about that experience.
Well, I first want to say a few things about being born into this world, being told, and like let's say, put your shoulders back, this, that. Telling your parents through their guidance. They don't mean they don't mean wrong, but sometimes there are things that you learn that you need to unlearn and let go of, and
Mm,
so it makes room for other things to enter your life and to into habits that actually serve you, because
mm,
nature makes no mistakes.
mm,
We're creatures that evolved through billions of years,
mhm,
since the Earth evolved. Now, our science tells us that,
mhm,
and science is important in terms of informing us of particular things that
mm,
then we connect with ourselves, and you can call that emotional, spiritual level. To me, it's all part of that, and I believe that nature provide. Uh, create us through the evolution as the saviors of the world. And
mm,
right now, what are we doing? We don't trust one another. We're creating bombs of self-destruction that kill people and destroy property.
mhm,
This will lead to our extinction, and I know that from just my gut feeling. And I know Melissa referred to that, my gut intuitions, and so things need to change.
mhm,
And I know that within myself. So I'm doing everything I can because I'm making all these connections throughout the world. I never thought that would happen.
mhm,
And for example, when I had that vision experience and immortalized in the sculpture, I didn't know anybody. I had none of these connections, none at all that I have today, over half a century later. So things, in my case, took time, but they don't necessarily have to take time. When you
mhm,
have leadership or people to show you the way, that can sort of uh, speed up the process here. So you don't have to be be 73 years old, but always
mhm,
like me, to
mhm.
to be to realize it and thoroughly enjoy life right now. I am happier than I ever been.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm also stronger and more
Mhm.
determined than I've ever been in my life.
It just goes to show you it is possible. Keep your mind connecting between the synapses and the work that you do keeps you very focused. What would you say in a few words or few sentences, I should say, what the experience that you had, what what was it at a high level, and how has it played out in your life since then? Since 1973, right? Or did you say
Yeah,
73?
that was a culmination of all my experiences. Like,
Mm,
that didn't come out it came out of the blue. It surprised me, but there's a reason why that happened.
mm,
And through my life experience as a since the day I was born, as a child, as an
mhm,
adolescent, in my dialogue with my wonderful friend, Greg Alper,
mhm.
who's my best friend to this day.
Wow,
And,
that's
uh,
nice.
and he's in the book, by the way. He's mentioned a lot in my book
Mhm.
because it's he's just an important aspect, and the
Yeah.
whole family who literally adopted me as a son. I would
Mhm.
enjoy dinners, and that's in the book too. That explains it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to be elaborating on this a lot more in future books and presentations, and in any way I can, because I'm doing everything I I can with how I feel, no matter what it takes.
Yes.
And that's how driven I
That's
am.
good. And I know that because you're a steady Eddie kind of guy. What was, give us tidbits that could give more of an idea, because you alluded to having a past that it played out in the vision. And was it something that flashed around? Was it set in your mind? Was it, just like we talked about, or I talked about the gut feeling?
Yes.
Explain more depth around it.
I have to go back before the visionary experience of how I've felt. And I felt some things just didn't feel right. My parents were very violent. I came
Yes.
from very difficult upbringing, by the way.
Mhm.
I had to keep my dad from murdering my mother
Mm,
because of his physical abuse from his alcoholic father who would beat him as a
mm,
child.
mhm,
So this is a lot of stuff to navigate through, and it's painful and it
mm,
hurt. And
mhm,
I cried many times, but I'm
mhm,
so happy that I was brave and courageous enough to deal with this. And sometimes I wonder, how was I able to do that?
yeah,
And I tell you the answer to that is because I'm so driven and determined to get to the
mm,
truth of what's going on within me. And to
yeah,
me, that defines what is. Because what is different to everyone based on your own personal experience. We're all
right.
different, and it's this diversity that could
Mm,
bring us together and
mhm,
do amazing things, um, and have our prayers be answered, and prayers that been going on for centuries.
mhm,
And and really all it takes is to settle within ourselves, and that settling
mm.
takes a lot.
It does, and getting the cores out. It's like, the core of the apple, that's the part that then supports the other parts, if you will. What Give us a visual. So you were how old at that time then?
When I had my vision experience,
Yeah,
I was what,
yes.
20 years old.
Okay. So, but it followed on the heels of what was going on with your family and so
Yeah.
forth at that time? And
Yes.
can you describe, like, how long did the visionary experience happen? Um did you have some type of injury, or what happened that it initiated the experience?
Well, what what's very interesting is that Lake Forest College that I attended, where I had my visionary experience on a courtyard, did not have a visual arts department.
Mhm.
I had done artwork. I was a
Mhm.
psych major in college, thinking I was going to become a psychiatrist, which in a way I feel I am actually. And like Carl Jung,
Mhm.
I connected with my wonderful friend Paul Levy, who's coming out with a great book on Carl Jung, who wrote the best book ever on quantum physics, and
Yeah.
that's noted by many top quantum physicists and quantum enthusiasts throughout the world. And he's absolutely brilliant. And but but
Is
but going back to me, I'm sorry, I went off on a little tangent there.
Yes.
But but how that reflects back to me is that I seemingly anticipated the visionary experience. I went to Oakton Community College in '72 and showed the art department head my art. So I had my play, I had my studio set up, and then
Mhm.
the visionary experience happened a half year later. So what does that tell you about
Year
time?
later? 6 months later?
Yeah. So what does that tell you? That
That
it
says that your soul was getting ready for the experience. And when you had it, were you awake, or were you asleep, or were you knocked out? Like, what happened? And then it sounds like you ended up using that setup that you had as an artist. Were you an artist before, that I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's true. I loved doing art as a child. I
Mm,
actually had a drawing submitted that went
mm,
on a global exhibition that was
mm,
accepted. So I was very good at drawing when I was a child. But
mm.
then you're told, well, if you're an artist, you're you're, you're gonna struggle. Not gonna make money. You're gonna be which I did for decades. But you know what's the most important thing? Being true to yourself.
Mhm.
And only you know that. And
Mhm.
only you can learn to be that. And that goes
Yes.
every person on this planet. That's what excites me. That this can actually carry through the world in that manner and wake up our whole world. I consider this planet a global community.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
definitely
there's no such thing as isolation. When your mind thinks that way in a separatist context, it really that's what causes problems because that's not true.
we
Every
are we are
every
all connected.
yes,
Yes.
yes, and I know that from my
And you know that because of the experience.
yes, the vision experience, what I saw, and it lasted just a moment, and
When you say a moment, are we talking a second? Are we talking a minute?
yeah, time is a strange thing because for me, time is
What
not
did it
linear.
feel like it to you? Just
It felt like uh, 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 not even a second. It just boom, hit me. I saw it, and my head pounded. I had physiological reactions.
mm,
I almost collapsed.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. I remember it like yesterday, and that
Uh-huh.
happened over 50 years ago.
Mhm.
I know how that felt. I remember that.
You still remember it's very visceral for you.
Oh, I see it like it happened a few minutes ago.
So, what was it when you said it was a flash? Was it a colorful flash? Was it a black and white flash? I
Oh,
mean,
no, no, everything was there, physically there. I just saw it differently.
mhm.
Trees, the landscape, the grass, the buildings, but the people. There were mainly students that I
Yeah,
witnessed going
yeah.
across, and all of a sudden I felt, oh my God, that they were oblivious, and I saw actual white light and interconnected through their heads,
Mm,
and uh, and I felt this zombie-like quality.
mm,
And that's the thing. It's in my book too about zombieism,
mhm,
and I think that's really an extension of who we are. Being so oblivious and being so unaware of what's truly going on.
mhm,
And if you don't know what's going on within yourself, you don't know what's going on anywhere else.
mm,
You may, and it's a very convincing aspect of our personal lives when
mm,
everyone uh, conforms and confirms. Oh
mm,
yeah, that's true. This is true. So it's a self-reinforcing prophecy, but
mhm,
it's not what's going on,
mhm,
and it's difficult to deal with that, and I
mm,
did,
mhm.
and I am now, like I said, connected with all these people. They're coming to me. And who am I? I'm just a regular guy, but that's the beauty of it. You're a regular uh, female or male who has this intrinsic, infinite power and
Mhm.
energy within yourself. I know everyone has this.
Oh, yes. Yes,
I
and
know,
so
I know.
many so many, leaders out there in different areas have, I think, espoused that or shared that as their beliefs too, and that's why what you just said marries up with walking in greatness together. It's very inclusive, it's very diverse is what you're saying, and in this step where you say it is, it's kind of like it is what it is, right? And it sounds like or feels like or it's making me think like what you're really getting to is this awareness of the richness of our connectedness backed up against um, what you were saying, and then almost like I see these people walking in shadows because they really were blind to the richness of what happens every day with potential connections, and that a simple conversation with somebody new can change your life.
Yes,
All of these things are real.
and I'm so happy I had the awareness and ability to take that visionary experience and immortalize that in a sculpture that I
Mhm.
named at the time Emergence and Transformations.
Mm.
And let me give you the website where everyone can see this piece, and everything in it is my own writing.
Well,
Uh,
one thing I'll say, because we're able to stop.
oh,
What's happening just a little bit is the shaking. So because I know that's your arm shaking. Is there a way just to maybe move it back a little? So yeah, yeah, because I want to get this piece. So what we're talking about now is the visionary experience that you created a sculpture of, is what you said. Is
yes,
that correct?
I followed
Yeah,
through. I played through that uh,
yeah.
uh, visionary experience in '73 and immortalized that in a sculpture.
Mm.
And
And when did
I
that
had
come
the
out?
setup done in '72. So
Oh,
my,
I
my
see.
my whole concept of time is not linear.
Oh, okay, got it.
Present and future uh, see can happen simultaneously. I have a different way of thinking, of
Yeah.
perceiving things. Things can happen
Oh,
simultaneously.
deja vu now. It feels like we had this exact conversation before in some
Yeah.
time, which could have happened. Okay, I'm feeling it right now. So you were going to give the URL of your website where your sculpture is shared, right?
Yes. And that website is visionarytransformations.com, where you can see the immortalization of the visionary experience and other works, and all the writing is mine.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm looking at it now while you're talking. That's really wild. Yeah, lots of things. Really, really interesting. And poetry that you wrote about your daughter, I take it, right?
Yes, yes.
And which one is the visionary experience in the gallery?
Yes, that's the piece, Emergence and Transformations. I believe that's the very
Mm.
first one. That's actually taken in the backyard of my best friend because I had nowhere to photograph it.
Wow, that is really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to see the camaraderie and the
Mhm.
connectedness that that we have, and that I had back there, and I realized, oh, I was able to do that, and look how good it came out. And I
Yes.
also look, and the person who is head of uh, the head, who is head of the um, group that actually made the website. Uh,
Mhm.
he and I worked out together. We exercised together for years, and
Mhm.
we only talked and had a meeting in 2019. We discussed the website,
Hmm.
and uh, and his name of his company is True Productions, and has won many global awards for their work.
Wow.
And I'm going to have him
Mhm.
videotape my book presentations, and I have the connections for those to go global. And
Yes.
Melissa, I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, I am too. I mean, you're speaking from the artist's heart versus the mind. And the heart, what I'm getting is the heart receives from the mind the power of that, of what you've done. And you're someone that I know to be true who has connections worldwide with people who are very, very committed to doing what you're doing, sharing their artistry, their insights, they're doing so many unique different things. So that warrants, if you will, the opportunities that that you want to create for others and the pathways to do it. And somehow it's going to be done because it does take people supporting it. I'm even thinking in real time right now that creating a Patreon, it's called Patreon. I think it's the spelling. If you're creating something, that's a good way to fundraise. I mean, now, right now, just buying your book on Amazon can be a start. Walking in Greatness Together, great title. And just keep marching toward that, whatever whatever keeps pulling and calling you. So on the second step, what would you like to say in closing around where we are now? What you'd like listeners and viewers to know?
Well, that when you have an idea or have something happening,
Mhm.
that you may not have the support system around you, but
Yeah.
what your idea and what comes out of you m- may have this connective energy and its ability that just sort of happens almost uh, so naturally and so effortlessly. You don't
Mhm.
have to try and work so hard.
Mhm.
I think that's a great sign that you're on the right path. And
Yes.
what's happened to me? I never expected what's going on right now in my life when um, but as once I had my visionary experience and I immortalized that art piece, I felt, oh, now people will wake up, and they didn't. And so,
Mm.
what did that tell me? That what I envisioned was actually the state of the human condition,
Mhm.
and that I said, oh my God, what am
Mm.
I going to do?
Mhm.
So it's taken me decades to bridge this. And there's no formula. Maybe I'll see it more clearly as I
Mhm.
go through the process. And the key thing is to keep going because
Mhm.
that's the only way things will unveil themselves to you.
Yes.
Your higher truths, your personal evolution. There is your very spiritual essence, your being at stake here,
Oh,
which
yes.
means everything.
Mhm.
Which means everything.
Yes.
But you have to be very um, in that you have to be very clear and anticipate things along the way, and don't become so reactionary.
Right.
Or because I think people become violent and things when they feel so strongly about something, but
Mhm.
you need to reflect and understand what's really going on. And I've felt very, very angry. My father called me, "Oh, you're the last angry man on earth." That was bad. That was nice. But
Mhm.
these things are very challenging.
Mhm.
So at the time I would weight lift, I'd do things because I knew better. I knew
Mhm.
better not to follow in my father's footsteps in
Mhm.
terms of his actions and what he did. And that I
Yeah.
I would have to serve at a higher level in
Mm.
order to um, receive the things in my life that that I truly wanted.
Mm. I like that. I'm putting your information down there too, which I think is very helpful. Well, in wrapping this up, Dan, I know, is on Substack, and that's where clips from this will show up, and also throughout other social media sites and sharing them. And we will be back with another segment later that will be very helpful, I think, for you, Dan, to get the message across and having those people who connect. And there will be, because more and more people are waking up now. So, on that note, uh, any one other thing you want to share with people? I think we've covered everything, but look forward to step 3. Do you remember what step 3 is that you created?
Not off the top of my head, but I'll say something here. By
Yeah.
being here present, I I'm learning and moving forward because of this. So that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. So the thing is, the more you bring yourself out in the world and share and communicate, you'll get better and better at that, and
Mm.
it'll shed light more and more on who you are and your what I say your beautiful self. and
Yes.
and that is our essence,
Yes.
and that what will heal and move forward the world in a way that
Mm,
we've always dreamed about and have prayed for.
mhm. I totally agree. And thank you so much and look forward to our next great walk together.